everybody to a great seminar on AI automation for ERP. And we are going to launch a very insightful conversation on how to get your data to perform for you in a wonderful way to help support business decision-making. We are part of a tag team today. I'm your host, Sharona Justman. I'm with Rubenstein Justman. I'm one of the partners. And we are with ConverSight today, which is going to bring us AI insights into your data. We're supported today with a brilliant fellow, Vlad Becker, who is the king of supply chain and how to draw data out of your systems into the thread of a beautiful reporting system so that you can be part of the current age of data access. My background is as a partner with Rubenstein Justman. We're an information systems implementation firm. We help to select systems and guide the choices very rapidly. My experience as a CPA, formerly with Pricewaterhouse, and you can reach me at any time at erp@rjmc.net. We are an independent firm. We focus on being their project manager. We take a look at the systems that are most appropriate for your company, and being independent, we only select those solutions that are ripe for you. We look at improving your access to data at all times. That's why we found that ConverSight is a very excellent tool. We've looked at literally dozens of business intelligence tools, data reporting tools, and we've found that ConverSight is a gem to focus on. One of the curious things when you work on a project, we found that systems projects oftentimes don't go to completion. And we found a statistic stating that over 34% of systems projects do not finish with an implementation and have to be redone. We're the kings and queens of saying, let's change that statistic so that you get it right the first time. And this is part of your journey in doing so. When we look at ConverSight, we want to understand where are we going to draw that data from. And in your environment, you'll have areas of inventory management. You'll have customers who are demanding access to their SKUs. You'll have a relationship on trade spend, and you'll want to understand your demand planning so that you stock only the right amount of inventory and are able to fulfill each and every order. In order to do so, you're going to want to look at sales reports such as sales by a time period, monthly, yearly, quarterly, sales by customer, sales by SKU, sales by customer by SKU, sales by geographic region, and of course, sales by salesperson. Today, we're going to have a chance to go over that. Why are we doing that? We want to drive decision-making. We want to be able to measure performance. On the next slide, we want to take a look at your KPI dashboards. And most importantly, when you're able to look at data, you want to look at it when you want it, as you want it, not waiting for the month end, nor at requesting a data person within your firm to provide it to the staff people, such as your head of sales or head of operations or head of warehouse. Using a tool like ConverSight, you're going to have access to that data on demand. Your reports are going to be consistent. And very, very importantly, you're going to be able to draw your data from multiple data sources, from your ERP, from users' spreadsheets, and from legacy systems if you are upgrading. What ConverSight is able to do is create a report library, meaning that you can identify the report time over time and change the time period or change the customer request. Because it's integrating into your ERP system, it is live data accessible right now from a transaction that occurred this morning to a report that you're producing this afternoon. And again, these sales reports, sales by customer, sales by brand, sales by salesperson, operational reports, financial reports, and very importantly, demand planning reports are going to be key to your future success. So in sum, data is, on the next slide, data is there for your decision making. And you want to have access to it in a timely fashion. Your ERP, your enterprise reporting planning system, is delivering to you a suite of integrated business applications. And this is with ConverSight as a very much a business intelligence tool, you're able to find your way to get access to your data. So with that, I'd like to more closely focus on an expert, Vlad Becker. He is in charge of supply chain solutions, super knowledgeable, super expert, and he's going to show us many of these reports so that you can get a taste and a flavor of how it might work in your organization. Vlad, take it away. Tell us a little bit about you as well.
Yeah, thank you, Sharona, and appreciate the kind words and welcome everybody. Excited to be here talking to the audience here. As Sharona mentioned, my name is Vlad Becker. I'm the Supply Chain Solutions Consulting Manager here at ConverSight. I've been in the supply chain space for close to 10 years now in various roles across procurement, inventory planning, warehouse services, and got really excited about the technology space, and that's where I discovered ConverSight and how ConverSight is using its decision intelligence tools to really optimize supply chain practitioners day to day, right? So looking forward to sharing with you how we do that today. So as we mentioned, right, so ConverSight is a supply chain decision intelligence platform. And today we're going to be really covering who we are, what we do, and actually be going through a quick demonstration of the platform as well. Now, ConverSight at its core is an AI company, right? We were founded as an AI company close to 8 years ago, and we specialize in decision intelligence for supply chain. What that really means is that companies use us to unify their analytics, bring in AI, and take the supply chain solutions that we offer all under the singular umbrella that is ConverSight. And here we have just a few companies that we work with that utilize our tool to increase their sales forecasts, reduce inventory costs, and really make sure that their day-to-day operations are staying as efficient and their employees are staying as efficient as possible with a tool like ConverSight. Now, we do that by taking all the different tools you see here, everything from data integrators all the way to demand planning tools and inventory management tools, and bring them all under one umbrella. And what that results in is companies enjoying the lack of tech bloat that typically happens when you bring in all these tools and the increased costs due to having to implement and manage all these tools in their own individual silos. Now, ConverSight is able to bring in a variety of different data sources under one umbrella, right? Everything from warehouse management systems to ERPs to customer relationship management systems. Even Excel files can all be brought under the ConverSight platform, and we can use that to drive our decisions around our supply chain. What do we need to buy? What do we need to fulfill? And what customers are really making up the majority of our business. That is all under the ConverSight umbrella. And like I mentioned before, we're really the only company that brings analytics, AI, and supply chain all under one solution. We do that through, as Sharona mentioned, our on-demand reporting and generative AI capabilities by offering really robust dashboards around your profit centers, around your different business functions, and most importantly, the decision intelligence tools around what are our future demand forecasts going to look like, and how does that translate to the supply planning that we need to do in order to make sure inventory is optimized at all times.
Actually, that's a very good question. When you're showing us the system, oftentimes we have warehouses that are filled with SKUs that are not being sold and absent SKUs that need to be fulfilled. One of your reports, I think, will show us how we can get access to some demand planning reporting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to show that for you next year, Sharona. So as we dive into the platform, right, our tool here really consists of a variety of different modules, right? I'm going to go through these modules here today. The first one being this insights page. We're bringing forward these automated insights for our users on a daily basis. And when we're bringing all those different data sources together, we're able to extract really valuable trends, exception reports, and any sort of anomalies in a company's business to the forefront. So users are able to see this newsfeed-like view that allows them to really extract their data in a more efficient manner without having to actually dive into reports and do their own analysis and extract that detail uh, uh, um, by actually diving into those different reports, right? So it's really allowing users to extract information much quicker. Now, Sharona mentioned a couple of times really utilizing our tool for some robust report building, and that's utilized by our Explorer here. So our Explorer report builder allows you to dig into your different lines of business, your different business functions, and you're able to essentially point and click on different fields within your source data, select them off, and be able to really build out robust reporting on the fly. Now, what typically takes our teams, really deep, intimate data knowledge, some technical expertise, or intimate reporting, report building, language expertise, really goes away with ConverSight. Really, we're allowing you to use just your knowledge of what data do I have available at my fingertips and how do I want to combine it to build these reports, right? So without having to rely too much on technical expertise, we're giving everyday business users the ability to really extract valuable insights from their reports within seconds, as we just saw. Now, within ConverSight, we're also able to take these reports and see them in a variety of different ways, whether it's a tabular format, as we see here, or perhaps we want to see it in a pivot format. We also have a variety of other visuals to choose from in case you want to be able to digest that information in a line chart, a column chart. You have a lot of flexibility in how we actually digest the different data that we're extracting from the platform. Now that takes me to the next piece, and that's our storyboards. And this is really where our decision intelligence lives. Through these storyboards, we're bringing forth demand planning, supply chain visibility, and supply planning uh, uh, capabilities to our customers with these templatized solutions, right? And through our storyboards here, we're able to really provide some really robust visuals around what's happening in your day-to-day. We have a sales order summary storyboard here where we're able to dissect the storyboard across warehouses, customers, items even. We're seeing what are our net sales amounts, what are quarterly sales, sales by month, and really giving us the ability to start seeing what are the different dips and valleys in our business and what do I need to do to continue driving business and potential upcoming peak windows, right? Now, all this data is going to be available to you through Explorer, through Insights, but we also have Athena here on the bottom right of our screen, and this is where our generative AI capabilities comes into play. So users are able to come in and actually start asking questions of their data. Perhaps you wanted to ask, what are my item sales by customer by month?
Vlad, I've found oftentimes that the head of sales is curious to know prior to going to a sales meeting what that customer has purchased in the past and what are the pricing changes and impact. But that sales head oftentimes is not fluent in creating spreadsheets and is dependent upon somebody else. The system with ConverSight and through Athena allows that salesperson to be able to ask in natural language a question about customers in an area or a specific customer. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sharona. So here we have that response from Athena. We see our item sales by customer, and that's actually a very common use case for us, right? It's sales executives and other C-suite members will actually utilize Athena to get prepped for board meetings, for customer meetings, get really on-the-fly responses without having to rely on their teams for their decision making, right? we want to make sure that data is accessible quickly and efficiently for all users of ConverSight. And Athena is one of the critical tools for extracting that data. And we can see here, Athena even provides us with a summary in a natural language format of what that data is telling us. Who are the top drivers of the business, month over month, period over period.
Very nice.
Now, all of this valuable information really takes us to the core of ConverSight, and that's really our decision intelligence that is brought forward with the AI capabilities that we've built out. And that really starts with our demand forecasting. We use a variety of different AI and machine learning algorithms to actually take your historical sales, analyze those historical sales for seasonality trends, any sort of outlier business trends, and we develop a forecast that is consistently auto-calibrating. Now, as we get daily and weekly sales, the forecast gets smarter. It picks up on recent trends, any sort of spikes in your business. Are there certain products that are potentially seeing an upward trend? And adjusts that forecast accordingly. And of course, also notifies you of those changes so that all members are aware and there's no potential silos within your organization of what's going to be driving your business go forward.
Now, how do I compare that forecast to my actual so I can see how closely I was guessing what the next quarter or the next half year is going to bring into the company?
Yeah, so we certainly never want to black box our forecast, Sharona. Anytime we generate a forecast, we are also providing visibility into our actual quantities sold, as we can see here. Um, so really making it quite easy for customers to analyze, what was forecasted, what do we actually do, and really take action on that as well, right? And how do we do that? Well, if you're seeing that for that, actuals might be coming in a little bit different than expected, users have the ability to start utilizing our demand forecast planning app to come in, take a look at a particular forecast, and start really analyzing where do we potentially want to make some changes to what's being forecasted, right? Nobody knows your business better than you do. You know what's going to be, what promotions are coming down the pipeline. You know what potential supply chain disruptions are coming down the pipeline. So we give the users the ability to take that AI generated forecast, use it as a baseline to then come in and fine tune their forecast as needed. Maybe they want to adjust a certain month period for a certain item, right? Perhaps they want to take an entire month and adjust it by specific growth factor. Perhaps you're running a promotion for that month, right? And sales are going to spike a little bit.
You know
You
what's
have the
crazy, Vlad, is that sometimes in a previous forecast, a certain SKU was anticipated to sell out. It doesn't sell through. So now sales can use that as a part of a promotional to lure customers to purchase other SKUs. And again, we have that precarious balance between what's in stock in the warehouse, what's in the queue being purchased from the suppliers, and what is being sold. So this system can tell us if a forecasted SKU is really not selling through, and the salespeople can adjust how they're going to sell other SKUs in companion.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And really, we're allowing all users to be able to come in and see what is that item performance and how do we want to reallocate potentially across other business areas, right?
Mhm.
So when we look at this demand forecasting app, and if you look at a specific item here, we can start seeing what is that conventional forecast accuracy we're seeing with this item. Looks like it has a fairly high forecast accuracy, 85%. So we feel pretty good about go forward trends with this item. We're able to see how those actuals came in through these visuals that we're seeing here, and also see actual volumes on this tabular form as well. From there, customers are able to get really valuable inventory trends and KPIs around this item. How much do I have on hand? What are those performance metrics like, weeks of coverage and turnover rates? So it really helps you decide how much do I want to be able to shift dollars to this item as it's a potential major mover, major driver for my business.
That's
Now,
super helpful because oftentimes that warehouse is a storehouse of money with its
Yep,
stock full of SKUs that are not moving. That's instead of money in the bank, it's money in the warehouse. So this gives every C person the ability to report on how does cash flow through the business,
exactly,
and take
exactly.
into impact environmental factors, meaning what was going on in terms of retail or shipping costs and all the other impacts that cause SKUs to move or not move, in addition to clever salesmanship.
Right, right. And that's where that knowledge of your business comes into play, right? Our AI forecast can do a great job analyzing what's happened in the past, but you know your business best, right? So how do you leverage that AI to ultimately make your decisions more intelligent, right? That's where the decision intelligence really comes into play. Um, and really, what do we do with that forecast, right? And Sharon, you brought up a great point. We have valuable warehouse space. We don't want to clog up that space with product that's not necessary. Well, that's where our supply planning application comes into play, and it's a perfect marriage between the two applications, right? Because that demand forecast actually drives the recommendations that the system makes for what you need to buy, when you need to buy it, and for what locations. So if we're looking at one of our supply forecasts here, we're able to see that the system is actually recommending certain items that are low stock or require urgent orders in order to make sure that we're fulfilling customer orders, not running out of stock, and equally as important, not having excess stock as well, right? So the system picks up on those demand forecast trends that we're seeing, analyzes that against our current stock positions, and actually begins recommending how much we need to replenish these items from our vendors. And we're taking a look at a variety of other metrics as well, like supplier performance. So we're utilizing dynamically changing lead times. And what that means is if you have a vendor who historically ships goods every, in 4 weeks to you, but over the past couple of months, you're seeing 8-week lead times. The system actually picks up on those changes and will begin recommending that you purchase with that vendor sooner. This really makes sure that you have the right product at the right place at the right time and ensures that just-in-time delivery of product for your customers.
This creates an esprit de corps that is very special within an organization, just internally, to get a score, bragging points of a percentage of fully fulfilled orders versus percentage of partially filled orders. That's a customer satisfaction quotient right there that can be very exciting for an internal team to be able to say that they achieved in a certain month 100% fully fulfilled orders. And that makes the team spirit rise high. And very importantly, it makes the customers feel like they're really being taken care of. So a system like this, we have found, changes the spirit of the relationship between the provider and the customer.
Yeah, absolutely. This day and age, service levels are absolutely critical for repeat business, right? Making sure that customer satisfaction is at the forefront of every organization is the expectation these days, right? And making sure that you have the right stock to fulfill customer orders in a timely fashion and in full. That's really what it's all about in any CPG organization.
Vlad, when we're integrating this system with the very disparate solutions such an ERP, spreadsheets, other reports, how easy is that to do with ConverSight? And how do you create that vein system of bringing all that data into one repository from which to report?
Yeah, so we have, hundreds of customers that we've brought in disparate data sources in. So we have kind of pre-established processes and templates across different systems. So that really leads us to being able to implement quite quickly and provide an ROI quite quickly. So users don't have to wait, 6 months for a system like this to be implemented. You're actually able to get ConverSight up and running anywhere between a week to 4 weeks with that key visibility into your inventory positions, those forecasts being generated off of your historical sales, and the ability for your buying and inventory planning teams to be able to start really leveraging uh, this type of AI solutioning for their everyday decision making around what to buy, when to buy it.
Well, before we open it up to Q&A, could you tell us a little bit about how long it takes typically to implement the system when you're looking at these the source feeders of data, your ERP, legacy systems, spreadsheets? What's the time turnaround to start getting access to these cool reports?
Yeah, it depends on the sources of data, but typically anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to be up and running on ConverSight. Like I mentioned, historically with other tools and uh, uh, inventory management programs, right? It really can take, months, sometimes a year. And we really pride ourselves on being able to deliver value within 4 weeks of starting the engagement.
Beautiful. And what can a company expect, or a range of costs associated with getting access to ConverSight's toolbox?
Yeah, that's a great question, and there's a lot of different factors that come into play, right? So we really like to have conversations with each individual customer to understand what are their use cases, what does their data look like, how much data do they have. So based on those different factors, the pricing comes out anywhere from either 500 a month to $2,000 a month. And it can vary on a variety of different factors, right? Use cases and data sizes are the two major drivers.